To begin, as we're speaking about the present moment, we're going to give ourselves some permission right now. We're going to do a little breathing exercise. And in the breathing exercise, we're going to do some gratitude as well. So if you'll sit comfortably and place your feet on the floor, and you can put your palms up onto your lap, I will just talk you through a little bit of breathing. Close your eyes, and we're going to take a deep breath in and out. And we're going to do that 2 more times. In and out. And in and out. Now I want you to follow just a little breeze that starts at your toes and moves through your feet, up into your ankles, and the calves of your legs, and your knees, and thighs, and abdomen, tummy. Slowly, the air is moving up to your chest, breathing it into your lungs, up your throat, into your face, and out through the follicles of your hair, and down into your fingertips. Just feel the air going through. And now we're going to give thanks for this opportunity that we've all created for ourselves. We're giving thanks for taking the time to invest in us. Time to take this moment to do the very best you can, to work on whatever you need to work on, to ask for whatever you want to ask for in the session, so that you can make the best of it. We're going to allow ourselves to have the very best session. And another breath in and out. And I want you to think, while your eyes are closed, take a moment to think of one thing that you can feel with all your senses. One thing that you can touch. Maybe just your clothing, the fabric on your clothing. Touch it and acknowledge what you can feel through touch. And then next we're going to go to hearing. Notice one thing that you can hear in the environment. Acknowledge it. And is there anything that you can smell? One thing that you can smell. And lastly, you can open your eyes. And what's the first thing that you see around you? Notice it in your environment. All right. That is how we get into the present moment. We acknowledge all things that are around us that we can see, hear, touch, and smell. And it brings us into the moment. So, moving on, one of the first things that we need to do before we start any other of the imaginative processes is we have to make space. So when I say we have to make space, we have to look at all the things that may be creating clutter in our lives. So I've asked you to bring a piece of paper and a pen. And the first thing I would like you to do is write down a list. Write down a list for yourself of everything that you need to do today. And then I want you to put it aside. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to start writing with dinner, and you need to go somewhere, or you have a task that needs to get done at home, you have work to do. Everything that comes into your mind, write it down. Right. If you've got your to-do list, let's put our to-do list aside now. We don't need to put any more thought into remembering it because we've written it down. So let's put it aside. Then next, we're going to take another piece of paper and we're going to fill it up with any thoughts that are coming to your mind. It can be words, it can be thoughts. We're going to empty ourselves out. It doesn't need to have any logic or sense. Whatever thoughts are coming into your mind, worries, excitements, anything that's continuing in your mind, we're going to take a minute to just, well, 2 minutes to write freely. Try and fill up your page as much as possible. Just let it freely run out of your mind. Don't even go back to read it again. Just right. Now that you've emptied that all out, let's take another breath in and out. We're releasing to make space. In the same way, you can do this when we're done as well. You have a look at where else can you clean up in your life. Social media and email and people and even our spaces can really create clutter in our lives. So when we're done with the session, it will also be good for you to take a look at your social media. What or who can you unfollow? What is no longer serving? On our email, you may find that there's lots of subscriptions that, we didn't think about before. We just let them all come into our email address, but we're still dedicating time every time a new email comes in, whether you want to read this or not. If it's no longer relevant, hit unsubscribe. It's looking at your space, the workplace, the home space. Where do you spend most of your time? Is it cluttered? Is there anything around you that is no longer of any use that you can make room for? Give it away, give it to somebody who needs it, or maybe it needs to be thrown out. Consider that in your space. And then most importantly, they say that the 5 people you speak to most actually shows you exactly where your thoughts come from. 5 people you spend the most time with are exactly the people that shape the way you think, feel, and do. So take a look again at who it is you spend most of your time with and whether that is still so. All right? So next up, we're going to have some fun with intuition exercises. So I'm going to share myself now. Do you have your pen and your paper? Color pens, whatever it is you feel like, because now we're going to flex our imaginative. That's why I put the brain there. What happens to us is that we have left side of the brain and we have right side of the brain. The left side of the brain is responsible for all of our logical thinking. Whenever we want to make sense of things, we use our logical side. We want to know exactly how something happened, when to do it, why we need to do it. But the right side of the brain is the creative side. It shows us opportunity, different ways of doing things, new ways of doing things. And together, the both sides have got to have balance because there's a time for logic and then there's a time for creativity. If we are too logical, then we're not open to creativity. We're not open to any new opportunities that we can't identify or we're not familiar with. So we try to make sure we do both sides of the brain. So you can take your piece of paper, and the first thing I want you to do is, I call it a squiggle. I'll show you. I'm going to take my pen and I'll just do a squiggle on the page like that, but you do your own squiggle. This is what I call a squiggle. Okay? So take a pen, just do a squiggle. And from that squiggle, I want you to now turn that squiggle into a flower. And it doesn't have to look like a perfect flower. This is mine from my squiggle. All right.